Hello guys, Grimar Bell by Absol Dark X7 here, and we are back at it again with another scary story. So, yeah, and so, so a little fun fact. So I just, so I just, so I recently watched the Titanic movie. If you guys know that story, I mean that movie, where it's based on the story of how Jack met Rose. Yeah, you can you can tell, you can know you. I mean, so by now that you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, from the last that last scene before the ending credits, you you would know how much I cried. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was in shed tears, like I was about to cry, like I would, like I ready to cry myself to death. But yeah, and um, what else am I gonna say? Oh yeah, so what would you do? So here's a little so we all know how we only get 2 months, 2 months of summer vacation until school, right? It's just, yeah, what is this? What a disgrace. Why couldn't we just have at least like a 2.5 months of summer vacation? Yeah, that's just so not fair, unbelievable, and a disgrace. But yeah, so imagine if so. Well, here's a question for you guys. What would you what would you do that it's the first? So let's say that. So what would you do if so? Let's say that you're going to the first day of that today's the first day of school, and it's going and everything goes fine until you can't find until that you arrive at your school and don't know what classes you're supposed to go until strange things are happening. And that's why we're here with this story called First Day of School, or FDOS for short. Yeah, here's yeah, it's a scary story about a student who moves in about a student who moves to a new town and starts attending a new school, but has trouble finding the right classroom. Yeah, and that's why we'll be reading the story today. And since and that I just gave you guys that scenario, like let's say that you move to a new town and and you're attending your new school, but having but you're now having but you're having trouble with finding your school that you're supposed to go, which is why you should have Dora the Explorer to help you find your classroom. But enough talk. Let's get on with the story. So I pretty much don't have anything else to say after that, but you just get us started. Here's so yeah, and here it is. So this is first day of school. Enjoy. The curtain falls on the Grimoire curtain falls on the no, I am not going to say it. Just enjoy the story. The first day of school is always nerve nerve-wracking for any student. My first day at a new school was an absolute nightmare. I was 14 years old and my family had just moved to a new town. Moved home. My dad had been offered a job with better pay, and a mere week later we had sold our house and rented uh, an apartment in the town we moved to. It was during the summer we moved to, so it was simply starting at my yes, it was simple starting at my new school. On the first day, I walked alone to the school. I was nervous about having to make new friends. When I arrived, the, I picked up the timetable and saw that my first class was mathematics. It was in room 104. I began walking out the hallways, searching for the room, but the school was like a maze. Eventually, the bell rang and the students made their way to their classrooms. In less than a minute, the corridors were deserted. I, I stopped in front of a pair of old looking wooden double doors. I pushed and with a scraping sound of metal on wood. They opened. I found myself in a corridor that was old and rusty. The lockers were all hanging open and the stench of mold and damp hung in the air. Ew, that was, that's gross. I was about to turn around and go back to the way I came when I noticed the numbers on the classroom doors. 100, I mean 100, 101, 102. I began walking down the hallway when I peered through the windows of each classroom. They were empty. Then I came to room 104. I peeked through the windows. Through the window, all of the students were sitting at their desk. The teacher was standing at the blackboard and class was in session. I quietly opened the door and I went inside. None of the other students paid any attention to me. I started to apologize awkwardly for being late, but the teacher just turned her back on me and began writing on the board. Turning red from embarrassment, I hurriedly found a free seat at the front of the classroom and sat down. The teacher had already written her name chalked on the blackboard. It was Mrs. Taylor. Mrs. Taylor Swift. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. But anyhow, onward. I was nervous and very con. I mean, nervous and self-conscious, so I didn't want to draw attention to myself. Throughout the class, I just kept my head on and concentrating on solving the math problems. Even eventually, after what seemed like hours, the bell rang that the class ended. The other students scrambled out of their desk and ran out the door. I looked at my watch and was shocked to see that it was already 3 p.m. The school day was over, and I had only attended one class. I walked down the corridor, trying to find an exit. All of a sudden, I heard someone call my name and looked forward, looked around. There was a teacher making his way towards me, and he had a frown on his face. You, yes you, you, you've the new, yes, you've the new boy, aren't you? He said. Uh, yes, I replied. Where have you been? Where have you been? He demanded. I've been searching for you all day. Why didn't you go to your classes? But I wasn't, I was in class, I protested. Which class? He demanded. Mrs. Taylor's class, I replied. Room 104. The teacher's eyes grew wide and he flew into a rage. I suppose you think you're pretty funny, don't you? He shouted. Well, you're not. It's no laughing matter. Now get out of my sight! I was very confused then, and on the long walk home, I kept wondering what I had said that got so upset. As soon as I reached my house, I turned on my laptop and went online. I started searching for the name of the school and the teacher, Mrs. Taylor. What what I found scared me to my very soul. What? So, wait, what happened? What, what's the result? There were old news articles about a terrible massacre that happened in the school 10 years before. Real, really? A massacre. Why did it have to be a massacre? One morning, bright and early, a crazed gunman had simply walked into the school and started shooting. He stood at the doorway of the classroom and shot the teacher. Then he picked up then he picked off the students one by one until every single person in the class was laying dead in a pool of blood. There were pictures of the classroom where the murders happened. I recognized it immediately. It was room 104. There were also photos of the victims. I recognized them too, trembling with fear. I gazed at the smiling faces of Mrs. Taylor and all of the students I had been in class with. I felt sick to my stomach. My hands were shaking and a chill ran through me. Uh, I spent all night trying to convince myself that it wasn't true. The next, and, alright, the next morning, I was too terrified to go back to school. I broke down and told my parents what had happened. At first, they thought it was just nerves, but eventually, after I had refused to go to school for a whole week, they gave in. Gave in me. They gave in and enrolled me in a different school. I managed to get on with my life and try my best to forget all about the incident. I almost succeeded. This morning I received a letter in the mail. There was no stamp on the envelope, and no return address. It all happened hand delivered. When I opened it and read the printed card inside, my hand started shaking again. It was an invitation. It was an invitation to a class reunion, and it was signed from Mrs. Taylor. Uh, oh my God! Holy, holy shit! Holy shit! Fuck! 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 Okay, now I'm getting, now I'm slowly getting goosebumps about that. Uh, like how, like a, and also really a massacre. It had, it really, out of all the things, it had to be a massacre that happened years ago in that school. That wait, wait, I don't think, uh, no, no, that the story didn't mention the main character's name. Yeah, yet this character never mentioned the name of this character, main character, but only, only, only the, only the age of the character. Yeah, um, now I feel sorry for that person, for this person that experienced it. Yeah, yeah, I feel, yeah, I feel sorry for that person. Yeah, and, but anyway, so, but alright guys, that was first day of school. I'm pretty sure that everyone, especially my friends from FJ's, from FJAA, doesn't want, I mean, and especially to my friends from TJAA, doesn't like, don't like going back to, just refuse to go back to school after their summer break. Even I don't, even I don't want to go back to school. It's merely, it is merely the end, it is merely the end of July until August, and we're only 1 month away until the last day of school, until the last day of summer vacation. And it even we're even we're at the mid of ending July, there's there's already I already see I already had seen commercials about back to school commercials. I just really hate back to school commercials, especially especially uh this especially Mateo. Uh, if you guys know him, he's Doritos Reactions' brother, Mateo. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure that everyone still remembers that video from Doritos Reaction where his brother Mateo was raging over because of back to school commercials. I mean, I get it though. We all hate it, but he still didn't have to throw a fit about it. Anyways, I'm, I can't believe that I wasted all this time up talking about that. Not even, not even realizing I'm still recording. But yeah, so that was first day of school. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. But overall, this was pretty a creepy story about the person's first day of school. Thank you so much for tuning into the. Thank you so much for tuning in this video. Until next time, guys. I'll see you guys in the next scary story video, riddle, or urban legend. Peace out.